Hi everyone, Cindy Ashton here, and I'm currently at the car spa in Dallas. And I'm going to be heading out to New Mexico tomorrow. And I want to talk to you about how story and speaking training can really help with racism. So I was traveling, as you know, I'm on my 5-month tour, traveling throughout the US. And it was really interesting because in Arkansas, I went to Panera Bread and I'm sitting down and having my favorite broccoli cheddar soup. And I start chatting up with this woman. And, you know, being Canadian, you know, seeing gun stores every 2 seconds is not normal for Canadians, and driving to the south, they've got gun stores a lot. It's like, oh, this is very strange. So I'm a big believer that you really gotta be curious as opposed to judgmental, and I got out of judgment real fast, and I've been asking people, you know, why is there so many guns in the US, especially in the south? And so I'm sitting with this woman at Panera Bread, and I said, so tell me a little bit more, you know, being Canadian, this isn't normal for us. I would love to know, like why, do you carry a gun? Why do you carry a gun? And it was very interesting because in that moment she says, of course I carry a gun. Have you seen how many black people here are in this country? Now, most people who are one love kind of people like me would be up in arms and highly triggered and ready to go for a fight and be guns a-blazing. And here's where speaking training and storytelling come in play. So I, first of all, don't really get triggered that much by things. I'm just like, okay, good information for me to know. How am I going to deal with this? So instead of going guns a-blazing and getting all hyper, I breathed in my body, I stayed grounded, I stayed open, because the minute you start confronting, the conversation's over and there's no room for growth or for healing. So I was nice and grounded, I stayed in my body, and I just said, oh, I'm very curious about that. And I said, tell me more about what that looks like. And so she's going on and on and on. I said, oh, interesting experience. I said, you know, I've actually had a companion for the last 3 years. It's from Jamaica, and he's a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful man. And, you know, I was very sick last year, and this man took me into his home and gave me a housekeeper and gave me all these things to make sure that I would get better, and took care of me for months on end without any strings attached. What a beautiful soul. Let me show you some pictures of him. Isn't he so handsome? Look at the two of us. Look at my white hand with his black hand holding each other. And I was so loving and friendly about it. And I'm like, isn't that a beautiful thing that he did for me? She goes, oh, yeah. And I said, yeah. So, you know, there are people all around the world of different religions and races, and we are all so wonderful in our own way. And, you know, and there is no such thing as a bad seed. They're just people who get off track that we got to love and we got to help nurture them. And so anyway, so it goes on and on and on. And then she starts, well, all right, well, you know, and how about those Arabs though? And I was like, oh, okay, so tell me about that. So again, I stayed in curiosity, and I said, yeah, so it's interesting to have that perspective. I'm actually Arabic. She goes, you are? And I said, yeah, and unfortunately you only see that 0.0001% on the TV, and you don't see the rest of us that are really loving and full of life. And, you know, if you ever came to one of my family's houses, you'd be eating and stuffed and rolling for days, and going on and on and on. And so what was really interesting, so there's a couple of takeaways, is that, you know, we have the power to heal or to create more harm in the world. And what I love about the work that I do with my clients is that I teach them story, and I teach them how to be curious, and I teach them how to question. And we do that really for the sales process, but you could use it in every part of your life, especially if you're confronted with something like racism, or you're being triggered in some way or another by somebody who has a different view from you. And the second piece is speaking training. Now, most speaking training really is stand here, pose here, use speech effects. You know, my approach is very different. I have a degree in kinesiology, and my focus was relaxation therapy. So I really work with my clients on a much deeper level of what's really happening in the body, what's happening with their stress levels, and really teaching them how to be grounded and centered and use those strategies so they could be showing up being highly magnetic and persuasive and in the zone versus trying to fake these poses and gestures. So going back to you, and you know, right now people are super charged, and they're kind of out of their minds right now. So if you find yourself getting triggered, take time to breathe, exhale longer than your inhale. If you find somebody has an opposing view from you, ask more questions, hear their point of view, offer up story as a way for them to see a different point of view. Even if they don't agree with you, I can tell you that woman in Arkansas walked away, opened up in some way, and really got her thinking. I could see her noggin was going, oh, this is interesting. So there you have it. For those of you who are interested in presentation skills training and storytelling and all that jazz, and really want to be able to bring that level of influence and persuasion into your business or your speaking, be sure to schedule a consult with me. All right, go out, be peace, be love, and let's heal this world together.